I never intended for things to spiral this far. It began as harmless banter like flirtation over coffee breaks, fleeting glances during boardroom meetings, smiles that lingered just a bit too long. His name was Liam, a co-worker. He was charismatic, effortlessly confident, and had a way of making me feel seen, a feeling I hadn't realized I was starving for. At home, everything had dulled. My husband, Daniel, was kind, loving, dependable, the kind of man who always filled the gas tank, who recorded my favorite shows even if he didn't watch them. But over time, routine had drained the spark from our lives. We talked more about bills, squeaky hinges, and grocery lists than dreams or desires. And then there was Liam, who listened differently. When I laughed, he leaned closer. When I vented, he didn't try to fix anything. He just heard me. That alone felt intoxicating. The line between innocent connection and dangerous temptation blurred far faster than I'd imagined. It could. The first time we touched, it was accidental. Our fingers brushed as he handed me my phone. But the second time, that was different. I didn't stop him when his hand rested on the small of my back, and I didn't stop myself when I leaned in. That Friday, Daniel kissed me gently on the forehead. "Have fun at the team outing," he said, eyes warm, voice soft. He handed me a travel mug of coffee just the way I like it and smiled the way he always did. Guilt clawed through my chest before I even reached the driveway. After the office dinner, Liam picked me up. He looked at me carefully and asked, "Are you sure?" I wasn't, but I said yes anyway. We checked into a hotel far outside of town. The night was everything it shouldn't have been: fiery, impulsive, electric. As I lay there afterward, staring blankly at the ceiling, dread sank deep in my chest. My heart raced, not from excitement, but from a hollow regret. I whispered to Liam that I needed to leave. He looked puzzled but didn't press. I took a cab home before dawn, still in the dress I'd worn the night before, makeup smudged, heart pounding. The house looked peaceful from the outside, but something was wrong. The front door was ajar. Daniel always locked it. My stomach turned. I rushed inside, calling his name. Silence. The living room was empty, the kitchen untouched. Upstairs, the closet was half empty, his side cleared out. On our bed sat a single, white envelope, my name written on the front in Daniel's clean, steady handwriting. My hands shook as I opened it. "I hope he was worth it. Don't look for me." That was all it said. Tears surged instantly, blurring the words on the page. I called him, straight to voicemail. I tried tracking his location offline. Gone. Over the following days, I reached out to everyone: his friends, his office, even his mother. No one knew anything, or if they did, they weren't telling me. Daniel had vanished. Each night, I returned to a home that now echoed with silence. The silence I had created. His slippers were gone. His favorite mug, no longer on the counter. Only the faint trace of his cologne lingered on his pillow like a ghost that wouldn't speak. I sent messages. "Please talk to me. I made a mistake. We can fix this." No response. Not once. Not even a reaction. The magnitude of what I'd done hit me like never before. I stopped going to work. I couldn't bear to look at Liam. What once felt thrilling now filled me with disgust. I began remembering all the little things Daniel used to do: folding my laundry a special way, slipping notes into my bag before work, listening to me ramble about my day even when he was exhausted. Things Liam would never have thought to do. Weeks passed, then a month, and finally, a message from an unknown number. "Let's meet." My heart jumped. I replied immediately. We met at a quiet cafe tucked away downtown. He looked different, stronger somehow, colder. The warmth that once glowed in his eyes had dimmed. I noticed his wedding ring was gone. Mine suddenly felt like a weight around my finger. He let me speak first. I poured everything out: apologies, tears, confessions. I begged him to forgive me, to let us try again. He sat quietly, his expression unreadable. When I was done, he said softly, "I loved you more than I loved myself, and you made me feel like a fool." I whispered that I still loved him, that I wanted to rebuild what we had. He shook his head gently. "Some things can't be rebuilt," he said. "You burned the blueprint." He stood to leave. I reached for his arm, desperate, but he pulled away, not harshly, just firmly. You made your choice, he said, looking me dead in the eyes. Now you live with it. Then he walked out. I sat in that cafe for what felt like hours, just breathing, just breaking. I never saw him again. A mutual friend later told me he moved to another city, started a new job. He's doing well. They said, I hope that's true. He deserves nothing less than peace. As for me, I still live in the same house with the same walls, the same silence, the same memories. I see his photos and wonder what could have been if I hadn't lost sight of what mattered most. Sometimes I write him letters I'll never send. It helps somehow. I don't speak to Liam anymore. I never will. That chapter ended the day I came home to find the closet empty. I betrayed the man who had never once betrayed me, and in return, I lost everything I once thought I didn't need. Now I know better. I know what real love looks like, and I know the price of throwing it away. Regret isn't a fire that blazes. It's a slow, steady burn, quiet, constant, and it never really dies.